we'll notice that the time, the column that has the time is named other data. Other data. That's why I came down, I used other data here. Df other data. So this was going to tell me this pd dot this function, was going to tell me that it's going to tell me the other day. So df order here, minimum will give you the minimum date and maximum will give you the maximum date. So when I printed it in the next column here, it now gave me the start date and it gave me also the end date. So if you check in my comment section, I wrote here that the time frame for the data set is 1 year. Yeah, because it started on the 19th January and ended on sorry, it started in 2019 January 1st and ended in 2020 January 1st. So we can say that it's actually 1 year. So the next question actually was that we should find the number of rows and columns. So for me, what I did was, once this came out, it showed me that I was having 185,950 rows and 11 columns. So if you check in my comment side, I commented here that there are 185,950 rows by 11 columns. So that was the next question. So after that, we say we should check if there are any null values. So df is null is a method that tells us whether there are null values. So the dot sum now is going to sum up all the values. The dot sum is going to sum up all the values. If I thought there are any null values, it's going to like sum them up and give me the all the result. But if we as you can see, among all the data sets there is no null value. And then to also confirm that, so let me go about up. If you check in my comment section, I said no missing value to show that there's actually no missing value. So to also confirm it, I use another function. I say df is null dot values if any, that is if any value is set by false. That's a boolean type of data. You said false. The false means that there were actually no null values in the data set. Here too, I came down again to confirm it again for the third time. I say df is null, that they should sum sum if there's any this thing, any missing, they should sum it up. I said no, there's no missing value. The next question was the type of data, the type of data that was in each of the columns. So I said print df type, df dot the type. So this gave me for the unnamed, as Harry Smart earlier explained, that unnamed you see integer values here, 0, 1 and the likes. So if you see my command section, I say these are the data type for each column. So for column 1 unnamed, I had integer, order id integer, product object, quantity ordered integer, price each float. That float values, that is, it came in, it has decimal point, so that was why it was float. Order date and time, that can also be, that date, the time is a combination of, the date is a combination, is for float, while the time will be in the, sorry, the date will be integer float form, while the other one will be integer form. So like that. So these are all the data type for each of the columns. So now they say that the next question was for us to check if there are duplicate values. So df dot duplicate is to check if there are duplicate values, and they told us that there are no duplicate values. From the 100 and from the 185,950 rows, there were no duplicate values. So that's that for that. And then I also printed to confirm it also. I printed DF duplicate in full column. That is to check for all the columns, because this one only check for the first column. Let's go back and see. That's why they said this thing, the rows here times one column, is to show that it's only for the first column. But when I now did the second one, it gave me for all the columns, which means that there are no duplicate values at all. The next question says we should state the statistical description in numerical content. So DF, this was one of the last classes we had. DF dot describe was going to is gave me this value. It gave us the count for the on for the column on name. It gave us the mean for the column on name. It gave us the minimum value, which was zero. We can go back and attest to that. It gave us 25%, 50%, 75%, and the maximum value, and so on for each of the columns. And that's why that's why this is easy to use, because it can quickly give us the right this thing. So from there we move to the other statistic. They say we should check if there are unique orders. So to check if there are unique orders, we say unique orders equals to df order id. For us to know if there are, I'm coming, a second please, let me check this question number. Okay, the question was how many unique orders are there in the data set. So for us to check for the number of unique orders in the data set, we have to use the column order id, because it's the one that is going to tell us of the orders that we made. And since there, since there are no duplicate values, it automatically means that since there were no duplicate values, it means that there were 1,789, 178,437 unique orders that were made. Okay. The next question, the next question was what is the distribution of order status, that's delivered or pending. Now this question was not going to, we're not able to answer the question, and the reason is because they did not give us, there was no information based on whether the goods were delivered or whether the goods were not delivered. So that question was unattended to. The next question was how many unique customers are there? How many unique customers are there? Second, please. Okay, so now let's look at what I did here. What happened was I was trying to find a way out if I can actually answer this question. The one that earlier said that it was unattended to. How many unique? No. What is distribution of order status? So I was now trying to answer this question. So and I said order status is equal to DF order ID. That's to count the values in the order status. So when I printed order status, what happened was that it gave me the order status, and I think these ones were the number of products that were ordered. I think so. So I just tried conclude that, well, if it's like that, they were all delivered maybe on a just, because actually the question was quite not really gonna pull through because of that fact. So to check for the unique customer, we are going to, for us to know if they are unique customers, we are going to know. Remember, we had earlier checked if they were duplicate values. For them to be duplicate values or duplicate orders, it means that there are going to be there are going to be like hold on no. There are going to be customers that would have come more than once. So they are unique, but they were not duplicate. And since we checked before, it gave us the same value. And it's, as the value is giving us now, the same. We had the same number of unique customers. Geographical insight. We're moving to the geographical insight. For this, the question was which countries are included in the data set? Now, for me to know the number of countries that were included in the data set, I declared a I said countries was equal to DF city. City is the column that carries the number of countries that were present in the data set. So that I can easily just get the number of countries. That was what happened there. So I now printed countries. It now gave me an array from where we have New York City, we have San Francisco, we have Atlanta, we have Poland, we have Dallas, Los Angeles, we have Boston, Austin, and the rest. The next question was, what is a distribution of order across different regions? So region distribution, this was this I just counted the values that were in each of the city, and these were the orders made in each of the city. In each San Francisco, we had this number of orders that were made. In Los Angeles, we had this number, and so on and so forth. I think the next question was going to ask us about the five cities with the highest number of order. So I now printed top cities. DF equals to city value. The head gave me the head is means that it's going to give me a number of five. If I wanted it to give me like 10, I printed 10. If I wanted to give me like six, I wanted it to give me like six, it would have given me six. So that was what. So I now printed top cities. When I printed top cities, this was what I had. San Francisco was the highest city, so it gave me, and these were the first five cities. Product category. How many unique product how many unique product categories are there? So number of I say non-categories equals to DF product. There were 19 unique product categories. Then there are 19 unique product categories. That's the meaning. Then the next question say, what are the most popular product categories based on sales? Based on sales category, I say DF equals to group by product sales. That's product based on sales. We should sum up stored values ascending first. So this is going to give us the number of all the categories that are all the product categories that were given to us based on sales. So based on sales, these were the these were the product categories that were given to us based on the sales that we had. So sorry for the interruption. Let's continue. So So as I was saying, you say what are the most popular product categories based on sales? That was the last question I answered. And the next question say, can you identify the top five selling product? The top the top five selling product. To identify the top five selling product. Okay. Yeah, to identify the top five selling product, this was a function. You sum up you saw the value, the head. You use the function of the head, and it gave us the top five selling product. The next question, customer segmentation. How are customers segmented based on segment column? Now I didn't attend to this question, and the reason was because this question kind of gave me some little time because there were no segment column. Since I'm new to this and I was finding it difficult to go about it, but there were no segment column, so I didn't do anything about it. Then what is the average order value for each customer segment? And since there was no segment column, I left it unattended to.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Bawden.
Yes, sir.
Ina be luna hana. Oh, this same.
So sorry guys for the interruption. So as I was saying, we stopped at customer segmentation, shipping insight. This last questions, what are the different shipping modes available? This also was not given in the data set. So I said shipping insight, what are the different um this set of questions. The above questions have no response to it due to the fact that there are no shipping mode in the data set. That was what that was what I did. Since there were no shipping methods in the data set, there's no way I should have I attempted answering that question based on my information. So here I try to do a summary. Let me go up. Sales value distribution summary. I try to do a summary of everything that happened. Profit analysis. Now, calculate the total profit for each order. What is the average profit margin? Identify the top five orders with the highest profit. For you to answer this question, you need to have some information. You need to have information like the selling product. You need to have information like the selling cost and the cost price for you to know the profit and everything. So since they were both not made available, it was not possible for me to answer that question also. So yeah, I did a summary. It has no missing values. There are no duplicate rows indicating data is clean. Yeah, since there are no duplicate values indicated that the data is clean. Then the data type of each column are consistent with its content. That's numeric for sales, object for product, and the like. Then I had a number of the time frame was 1 year, and there are those number of unique orders as you can see over in my over on the screen. So key finding, I was able to find when the data said that there were no missing values. Yeah, despite the fact that there were no missing values, the data set lacked valuable information such as shipping date, cost per product, delivery date, and even other items that were needed to carry out some of the functions like cost price, selling price, and other things. It lacked it. So it was impossible for some of the demands to be attended to based on my understanding. Then during the examination of the delivery status, not enough information was provided to come out with the complete information on the delivery of the product. So when they requested for shipping method, that's a method of delivery, or to find out if they were delivered or pending, yeah, for that question for instance, the information that we had was not enough for us to ascertain whether the goods were delivered or pending. Such information like delivery date was not in the information given. Also, it was not possible to determine the profit because the cost price and selling price were not available from the data set. Actionable recommendation for me to be able to analyze the data properly and to attend to other requirements of the data, the company will need to send the information that were missing in the previous data set. Yeah, like the information that will require me to demand to meet up their demand, they will need to send it to me. And also, I will recommend that the company should be careful to monitor their profit properly so that they will be able to check progress of the company, because you cannot be selling things and there is no column for selling price and the rest, and we're not able to calculate the profit, and we're not able to get the mean and everything. So it will be wise enough if the company include that, and they should be careful enough to ensure that they check out all those. So
Okay,
that's all for my power, my this thing, Google Colab.
okay. See, and you tried, but I'm not impressed or the way you present it. You tried though, but I'm not impressed. And there was a lot of distraction, noise, and all. I'm
Sorry,
not
sir.
really impressed.
Sir, this
I'm not
please,
really.
I am not at that's the issue. I'm not at home. I traveled very far from home because of a conference. So they kept on coming to tell us the hostess to leave. I had to keep explaining to them that what I'm doing. Now I'm the only one in the room. That's why the noise you are hearing. Sorry, sir.
So I'm not. And also, when you are working with when you are working on your work on your project, code that was not necessary, you have to remove it so that you will not jam pack everything with the correct code. I'm seeing you have different type of code, and the original code is at the down, the one that is not even functioning is at the top. Please, you need to make sure that all your work, the code that is not necessary, you drop them, you delete them, and present those code that are necessary. Okay. And
Yes.
also, what I observe is you did not go in depth, you did not do more research. I believe you saw the way this guy presented. He went through in-depth research. I want you to, when you are carrying out project, not just this data analysis project, your school project, your outside world project, please always go extra miles to do research. Go extra mile. Every question you have to do more uh, research. Like ChatGPT is a research tool. Google is a research tool. There are so many tools that are available for you. Please, when you are working on a project, you have to go in depth. And also, when you are presenting, make sure you present well, like audibly, and also you are not rejecting. And when you are rejecting, it will look like you don't know what you are doing, okay? And I'm teaching you in case of when you are working with you are working on your school project and you are also teaching students, okay? Do not reject when you are teaching. Have that boldness, that courage to present. And also, and I also observe that uh, your work is not your comments are not organized. You need to organize your comments. Organize. You tried. I really appreciate. I saw some
Sir,
things I really need to. Huh?
sir, I don't like the one of the comments. Is it that I didn't place them where I should place them, or
Yes, you should. I told you how to work on comments now. In when you are working on when we are working in Python at the beginning of the class, I told you about commenting. When we have double line comment, single line comment, I did not see any comments here. I only see comments using the Google Colab.
oh,
Okay, so
I thought I actually. Are you seeing? Do you see what I highlighted right now? This I was using
yes,
this
this
instead.
is comments from Google Colab, right?
Yeah.
You did not do it inside your Python code. I did not see any comments in your Python code, but
Okay.
I teach you about it. And also, I think that is all for that. So please note those correction and make sure you do not have it or have this correction or still working with these corrections. Okay, please make sure you have work on it. Okay,
Yes, sir.
and also I want you to go to your Power BI. Let me see your Power BI and also present for us.
Can I see the screen?
Yes. Okay. I think this is not the one I told you not to use.
Okay, okay, okay.
I
Yeah.
don't like. I don't like this
Okay,
chat.
I'm
I
coming. Let
don't
me.
like it.
I'm coming. I'm coming. Let me check it. Okay,
Okay, we can start.
it's all right. So this was what I did in Power BI. Um, I was having some challenges at the beginning because I, well, first time sometimes you have challenges, but I did some of quantity ordered by city against some of quantity orders by city. So San Francisco had the highest order of the product. He had the highest order. So this first one is showing. This is what the first one is showing. The second one is showing the sum of sales by city. San Francisco also had the highest sales. Then this one is showing order ID, the year, the quantity of order, month, and day, and sum of hours.
Okay, for us not to waste time, I think my battery wants to low, and I have seen everything you've done. So go to your project, your written project. Let me see. Share your screen to your written project.
Okay.
Okay, in school.
All right. Project by. Okay,
Okay.
let me start from the beginning. Sales data analysis, a CMTech project by Abe Tewase, that's my name, submitted yesterday, Thursday, 24th of April 2025. Exploratory data analysis, that's EDA overview. And these were the questions that I answered in
Okay,
my
so
Google
I want
Colab.
to, I want you to hope you did not copy it,
So I did mine with his format.
but you did not copy it.
No.
Scroll.
Okay.
Okay, good. And you did well. You did well. Due to my battery wants to run out. We have spent like 2 hours to defend our project, and I saw that every one of you did well. And I recommend you guys to practice more on your work. Do not say that you have graduated from CM Tech and you don't need to research and study. You must do it. Study is an everyday process and you must do it. Okay. I congratulate you. So you can stop sharing your screen.
Okay, sir.
So
Anh muốn vừa nữa hả?
so
Hả?
this is your certificate and of completion, and I say a big thanks to God Almighty and to you for being able to complete this training. So far, so good. You guys have done well. I'll call it a day and I'll say good night from here.
Thank you, sir.
So, before we end the class, and how was the research work and what did you find out? And what was the problem you are facing during your project research?
Okay, so I think I'll start. The problem I was facing was, as I said earlier on, like I've not really gotten completely familiar with the system, and initially I was having some little challenges. But when I started, it was like, how will I even move? But I went back to watch the YouTube videos, the classes that we had. So just the first video that I watched gave me a lot of insight and enthusiasm to start the work. That was how
Hello?
I started it. Yeah, can you hear me? That was
Yes,
how
I
I
can hear you. You can continue.
that was how I started my work, and I was doing it. I was doing it. Sometimes when I get lost, I'll just pause for that day so that when I have more energy, I'll continue again. And that's how I did it until I came out with what I had. Although, as you said, I actually need to do more research, just as you said. I need to do more research and to learn other things on my own, because the research that, as Harisma presented his own, like you could see that he did a lot of research and he did much of other things. Meanwhile, I actually didn't do much of those research that he did. But I know that if I did it, I should have actually had a better result and possibly had something better than what I had. But in a
No,
nutshell,
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
okay,
You did well. You did well. Okay.
yes,
You
sir.
did well. But I want you to study. You know, you are going to teach students. I don't
Yes,
want you to be rejecting. And I want you to be bold and confident in presenting, just like uh, uh, Harry Smart defend his project. I want you to be confident, be bold. Be bold when you are speaking. Be bold. Don't don't do like uh, when I'm talking or when I'm speaking, people might feel that I'm not talking the right thing. No, just be bold. That is what I want you to do. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, and congratulations once more, and I want you to go to what you are doing, and also thank you for your brief insight of what you have done so far. Congratulations, and kindly check your Google Drive for your certificate.
All
You
right.
guys have done a lot, and although Akim was not able to defend this project, and which which in CM Tech we don't play with our project. You must defend before we can issue you a certificate. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so good night and have a nice day.
Good night, sir. Good night, sir.